Weather team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus. WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is committed to your safety with 6 hours of continuous team coverage.
This is a relentless storm, Dave.
We're fortunate we all made it out alive.
And our network of sky cams across the state alerting you to danger, bringing you live footage of tornadoes as they touch down in Wathau County.
Look at this, Chase. Guys, look at that.
This is ground zero almost. I mean, this is really hard to stomach, like I said.
We take our commitment to being on your side seriously, and together we're Mississippi Strong. Weekdays, stream First Alert Weather Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus.
Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here on WLBT Plus First Alert Weather Edition. I'm meteorologist Chase Franks, and I'll be going over all the details about your local forecast first, and then we'll dive into the details about Tropical Storm Erin and what else is going on out there into the Atlantic. So we'll take a look at everything, and we'll break it down detail by detail so that you are an informed person in regards to this tropical system. So let's start off with right now, seeing some isolated showers and storms off to the east of I-59. You more than likely will be staying dry into the start of your day this afternoon. Bit of a different story. We will be tracking out chances of rainfall this afternoon. This is actually a tropical wave that we saw have a very low-end chance of development. Did not actually develop anything. We didn't expect it to be honest with you. A lot of the models were in pretty much agreement that we weren't going to see anything out there from this system into the northern Gulf. Just a lot of scattered showers and thunderstorms expected into the day today. Temperatures right now, mid-70s across the board, really across the state, upper 70s in Starkville, 79 up there, 77 in the metro, same thing in Hattiesburg, Biloxi, and Greenville. Now, for the day today, all staying hot and all staying muggy, so scattered showers and thunderstorms expected this afternoon. We'll take a look at both of the model runs here, the graph and the HER, give you a look at what both are saying here. So this is a look at the graph, still showing us a better chance of more scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, and then mainly into areas south of I-20. That's where we have our highest likelihood of expecting some more widespread coverage into the day for your Wednesday. Now, Thursday, this is where the models really have a disagreement into the day tomorrow. So the graph showing us a better chance of more scattered showers and storms. So the increased chance that we see rainfall is a bit higher into the day tomorrow. I think that this is likely just because of the current setup and with that tropical system or that tropical low making its way off to the north, we'll be driving in a little bit more moisture as it makes its way out east of us. So just because of that, and with the boundary stalled just off to the northwest, increasingly likely that we could see some rainfall here into your first alert forecast. But let's take a look at the HER. HER doesn't necessarily take into account of that stall boundary. So this is a look at the day today. It does a pretty good job of actually showing that we do have that chance for some isolated showers. I do think it's likely that we could see a better chance of more pop-up storms, but again, not everyone's going to see rainfall going into the rest of your day today. It's going to be remaining more scattered, more isolated. Thursday, this one has it more back a little bit. Doesn't really pick up on the fact that we have an abundant amount of moisture further off to the south of I-20. It thinks that nothing's really going to tap into it. So we have a high amount of instability out there. I do think it's increasingly likely that with the abundant amount of moisture, especially south of I-20, could see a better chance of some rainfall. So that's what we're tracking here at home. But of course, all eyes have been and are still continuing to be on the tropics. So we're still tracking the tropics here. And this is a look at the most recent tropical update. Let me actually pull up the National Hurricane Center, see what they're saying out there because it just updated. Yeah, 0% chance for that area where it says 10, 0% now. Off into the Gulf, into that area of off the Yucatan, 20% chance. A lot of the models aren't really forecasting much out there, but all eyes are, of course, on Erin. So let's actually pull up Erin here and just go into a little bit more detail about that. So this is a look at Tropical Storm Erin moving west at 20 miles an hour, still moving fairly quickly. It's got a lot of dry air that it's got to fight through. But once it does, it's going to be moving into a very favorable environment, low and sheer, as well as the fact that it's going to be moving to a lot of warm water here in the next little bit. So that's going to be allowing it to really get going out there into the central Atlantic. Winds of 45 miles an hour, pressure of 1,004. So still fairly high. Once it gets into the 900s, which we're expecting it to be here in the next 48 hours, we're going to be seeing some big changes with this. So expected to be our first hurricane of the season by Friday early morning. I do expect this to gain a lot of strength as it moves off to the west. Now, could it be our first major hurricane is the big question. It's looking increasingly likely with model trends over the past couple of days that we are more than likely going to be seeing our first major hurricane of the season, as it will be moving into a very favorable environment for this thing to gain a lot of strength. However, this is where it gets a little iffy, especially in my mind. A lot of the forecast models do have it trending off to the north after that, all thanks to a weak Bermuda high. So let's talk about this. So right there, that big high pressure system, we call it the Bermuda high. It's going to be a really the steering factor of the storm moving off to the west right now. However, it looks to weaken, and a lot of the forecast models showing that ridge of high pressure developing off the east coast. You can kind of see that into the central United States. It moves off to the east just a little bit. And when it does, it will act as a barrier region to keep this system at bay and off out to sea. So Bermuda high weakens, the ridge develops off to the east coast. That keeps the system out to sea. However, if it stays strong, if that Bermuda high stays even just just a little bit stronger, just a teeny tiny bit, we could easily see the shift a little bit more to the west. Some of the models have been indicating that over the past couple of days, but the recent model runs show it back a little bit more to the east in comparison to where it was yesterday. So it's been teeter-tottering back and forth. Obviously, this is still a long ways away. This is next Thursday where it tracks off to the northeast coast. Please take this with a grain of salt. I mean, I think it's increasingly likely that we have a pretty clear idea on where it's going to be into this weekend, but where it goes after that really is the big concern on how strong that Bermuda high is. Is it off to the east more? Is it off to the west? Where exactly does that ridge set up into the east coast? Does it stay off to more of the central United States? Does it push off to the northeast? Does it push off south a little bit? There's a lot of questions. We're still multiple days away. I think we have a very clear idea on where it's going to be into the weekend, how strong it could be into the weekend. But after that, it's a lot of uncertainty, even though that the forecast models are still showing a bit of agreement out there. So even though forecast models look to be in agreement, I just want you to be aware. Please take this with a grain of salt. The tropics are always crazy. They change in the matter of an instant. So please just make sure you have ways of staying updated. Right now, that's what we're going to be tracking, though. I'm going to show you this storm energy tracker that we're expecting out there. And let me actually change this because I want to zoom in on this area outside the Yucatan because is that really a major area of concern? No, but is it a concern for areas out in South Texas? I think so. I think it could be increasingly likely. So this area right out here into the Yucatan, it is expected to gain a little bit of strength before it heads into areas of South Texas and back into Central Texas, bringing in a lot of rainfall for areas out there that have already been devastated by a lot of flooding. So that is something to be mindful of. You won't necessarily see a lot of development from these low-end chances, but even then, it doesn't really matter if it still brings a lot of rainfall and a lot of widespread impacts. No, I just want you to be aware of that. And then a lot of the forecast models are showing us another system on the back end of this. So hold on a second. Let's go to this now. So I'm going to actually close this out and I'm going to pull this up. Okay. As you all know, I like to show you the tropical tidbits facts of what we're seeing right now, the intensity factor. Again, the visible imagery of this is not really looking all that bad, showing a good, really surface low. So that is really impressive to see. It's really been taken by the low winds aloft, which is the steering factor of it right now. So the National Hurricane Center, we're going to actually pull this up, still showing that this cone is expected to become a hurricane no later than Friday, and then a major hurricane sometime into the weekend of next week. Obviously, we have a fairly clear idea on where exactly it'll go by the time that we hit Sunday, but again, we've seen this teeter-totter back and forth, so we're going to really continue to monitor that here in the next little bit. This is a look at the GFS ensemble models. Again, the main line is showing that we are going to be looking at more bringing impacts to the island of Bermuda than anything else, but there are some outliers of it floating off to the east, floating off to the west, but for now, the GFS staying away, or the GEFS is staying away from the United States. This model, the GEPS, has it a little bit closer to some of the Caribbean islands back into the Bahamas. So something to monitor, but regardless, still on that main track out to sea, close to bringing impacts to the island of Bermuda. Intensity of the storm, pretty much in agreement. It's going to be rapidly intensifying. We're going to be seeing a hurricane. It's just a matter of how strong will it be? Will it be a major hurricane, a low-end major hurricane? Will it be a very strong hurricane back into a category 3 or 4, or will it just stay into that category 1 or 2 status? So obviously, we're going to be looking at the forecast models real quick. This is a look at the most recent run. This GFS run just updated. So let's look at that now. So this is a look at the most recent model run. Has a gain in strength, again, staying out to sea. Thankfully, that's what we want to see. We wanted to stay out to sea and stay away from us, and then no other tropical developments after that based off of this most recent model run. We're going to pull up the European model now to see what it's saying. Showing a very similar picture out there, that high pressure ridge developing and then it's staying out to sea. We are going to be closely watching out for these waves off of the African coast, but it's just that time of year. So regardless, we're closely watching everything out there into the Atlantic. So we want to make sure that you're well informed. Right now, no immediate impacts for the for any landfall in any way, shape, or form. Regardless, we're going to be closely watching it, making sure you have multiple ways of staying updated and making sure you have the right information. So for now, no threats into the Gulf, no threats for the East Coast. Obviously, that can change, but we'll be the first to let you know if it does into the coming days. So have a great rest of your day today. We'll have another update at 9:45 for you, and it'll be meteorologist Ashley Civic and I for an updated look at what you can be expecting. But that's all I got for you right now. Have a great day. Stay dry and stay safe as you go forward.